the Outdoor Journal.
Today on the Outdoor Journal, join Angelo Viola in Churchill, Manitoba, Canada, as he observes the annual polar bear migration. On surviving the outdoors, Audrey Hall gives us a valuable lesson on first aid in the wilderness. Then on Off the Beaten Path, journey along with Pete Bowman as he takes a mountain bike tour through the hills of Santa Barbara, California. All this and more coming up on the Outdoor Journal.
Not so long ago, if you mentioned that you were from Churchill, Manitoba, Canada, people would automatically associate you with the legendary Hudson Bay Company. But mention Churchill today and people will say, you're from the polar bear capital of the world. Hi folks, I'm Angelo Viola and welcome to this week's Outdoor Journal. Yes, I'm in Churchill, Manitoba, but polar bear capital of the world might be a little bit deceiving. You see, for the most part, this tiny community has no more bear activity than your own hometown. But come the fall of the year, yes, believe it or not, this is autumn in Churchill, well then it's a whole different story. It's kind of like a Shriners Convention for polar bears. This historical community sits on the rugged western shores of Hudson Bay, about 650 air miles north of the city of Winnipeg. It's a place tempered by extremes and characterized by contrast. Temperatures range from a summertime high of 93 degrees Fahrenheit to recorded winter lows of minus 50. It's surrounded by some of this planet's most uncompromisingly rugged wilderness. But not to be outdone by their surroundings are the 1,000 or so inhabitants that call this subarctic oasis home. For these are truly the most remarkable, if not tolerant, people on the face of the planet. Not only do they cope with the rigors of living in one of the harshest, although admittedly one of the most breathtaking environments I've ever witnessed, but each fall they must also play host to the Arctic's version of the Florida spring break. Only here the invaders aren't students having fun in the sun at Daytona. They're massive polar bears passing through town looking for ice. Although bears coming into town pose a real problem for the locals, this polar bear invasion has given birth to a tremendous tourist trade, which represents a real boost to the local economy here. Now, just outside of town on the subarctic tundra is the wildest close encounter with nature you're ever going to see. But before we head out there, let's have a look at this week's Surviving the Outdoors.
Hiking. What a great way to hit the trails and get some exercise. It's actually increased quite a lot in popularity recently. I personally love it. I especially like going hiking by myself. And because I do, there are some extra precautions I have to take. The first thing I did today was tell my family exactly where I was going and what time they could expect me back. And I've also brought along a little first aid. Any injury can occur out there, and you've got to be prepared. So that's what I'm going to talk about today, is first aid in the wilderness. Now what I like to bring along with me is numero uno, sun protection. You should always carry that with you. And I carry 2 first aid kits. Now in the first, there is a variety of bandages, tape, gauze, antiseptic wipes, and scissors. And in the second, there is a waterproof container containing a knife, some antiseptic, some extra tape, and Band-Aids. You can get these at any outdoor sporting goods store, and you should always be prepared for the unexpected. So I'm just going to pack up all this gear here and on with my hike. Whether you're an outdoors person or not, don't leave the knowledge of first aid up to someone else. There are plenty of magazines and books available that will give you some basic knowledge, or better yet, take a course. They're available from your local St. John's Ambulance or the Red Cross. I have been hiking for hours and boy am I starved. So I've gathered some firewood, made a little fire pit, and I'm just going to cook this soup that I brought and make a cup of tea. Now you can bring prepared food with you and you can get that from any outdoor sporting goods place. I like to cook in the outdoors. Just get a fire going here. When treating a first-degree burn, here's what you should do. Cool down the area as quickly as possible. This can be done with water, a cold pack, or a cold cloth. Cooling prevents further tissue damage and helps relieve pain. Cover the area loosely with a clean material. Secure dressing with tape and ensure the tape does not touch the burn area. And finally, treat only with a pharmaceutical burn cream, and if there are any blisters, do not break them. Oh, well, thank God it wasn't a serious burn. Now I've dealt with this, and I'm full. So on with the hike. Oh, I wonder what that is. I guess I really shouldn't be doing this, but I just want to... I wonder what's in there. Ow! Oh! What the heck was that? Oh. Animal bites cause puncture wounds that can carry contaminated fluids into the body. These should not be taken lightly because many wild animals can carry rabies. The first step in treatment are: wash the bite with an antiseptic, then rinse with water. Allow the wound to bleed unless it is a severe bite. This will help clean the wound out. Then you bandage and get medical aid as soon as possible. This is very important because of the risk of rabies. Now, an animal bite is a lot more serious than a burn. I'm going to have to head back right away and have a doctor look at this. I hope it's not rabies. God, so much for a day of relaxation. Oh, what else could happen today? Oh. When checking for a sprain, look for swelling, bruising, and the inability to move the limb. Then, apply a cold pack or a cold cloth if possible. Support the limb and apply gentle pressure. Then you bandage to decrease swelling and add support. You might notice I'm not wearing a tensor bandage. These hiking boots offer enough support. I don't need to use a tensor bandage. Oh. But now, when I go get this checked for rabies, I have to get this x-rayed to see if there's a fracture. It's a good thing bad luck only comes in threes, eh? With any bump on the head, sit and rest. If there's a cut, clean away any debris and apply pressure. Now, because this is a head wound, only use slight pressure to avoid any possible harm to the brain. Cover with a sterile dressing and lightly bandage. Can you see now the importance of having a little bit of first aid and some knowledge? I'm just so glad nothing serious happened. Now I'm close to home and I can get all these things checked out. Oh. I think I broke it. Oh. A closed fracture or a broken bone is almost impossible to treat properly in the outdoors. Try to remember the word rice. R means rest. Make sure you try and relax. I is for ice. If any ice is available, apply it for 15 minutes on and 15 minutes off for as long as you can. C stands for compression. Apply pressure and bandage. Finally, E means elevate the limb. Also, if you can splint the wound, do so. This will prevent further movement. All the injuries you saw today are artificial, thank God. But injuries like these do happen, and injuries like a broken leg are almost impossible for one person to treat. That is why there's safety in numbers, and next time I'm traveling with a buddy. I still have a little bit of time, so before my family starts to worry about me, I'm getting out of here.
Coming up, Angelo encounters the world's largest carnivore and mountain biking in California. And now, back to the Outdoor Journal.
Hey folks, where can you go with a modified 4x4 monster bus with an attitude? Well, just about anywhere, of course. And that's why today I'm out here braving a trip out on the Arctic tundra, surrounded by hundreds of carnivorous, unpredictable wild polar bear. And the only way to do it is with this baby. Each year, thousands of naturalists from around the world gather here to literally come face to face with the Lord of the Arctic. At first sight, this massive buggy might seem a little bit of overkill. But believe me, folks, this is one of the smallest vehicles out here on the Arctic tundra. And anything less, well, anything less would get swallowed up like chili at a Texas barbecue. This baby is built for one thing and one thing only, to get you out on the frozen flats and give you a great vantage point for observing one of nature's most beautiful and compelling creatures. Shaped by countless years of genetic evolution, the polar bear is an Arctic specialist designed to survive this extremely challenging environment. Mock fights are one of the most common pastimes shared among young males while they wait around for the bait to freeze over. And to be fortunate enough to be within a few feet of this spectacle is beyond words. So this is probably the right time to just shut up and enjoy. These animals have got no natural enemies and consequently no fear. And therein lies the problem. You see, whenever they come close to or into Churchill, you've got a potential hazard. And in response to these close encounters, there's been a special polar bear alert program instituted called Bear Patrol. But for the really bad news bears, like maybe these guys, there's D20, a special bear jail. Now, before we have a look at this unique facility, let's have a look at this week's Off the Beaten Path.
Wow, this is going to be one cool adventure, folks. And just to think that a half an hour down the hill here is the city of Santa Barbara, with its bustling yet sort of laid-back style of Californians and their ritzy old mansions. And with me today is one of those laid-back Californians, Joe Cueto from Adventurers. Joe, what are we going to do today? This doesn't remind me of Santa Barbara right here.
We're going to have a lot of fun, Peter. What most people don't realize is that Santa Barbara borders the second largest national forest in California. That's the Los Padres National Forest. And we're going to head down the road.
Excellent, buddy. I can't wait. This is going to be awesome. We're at the end of the pavement right now. We've got the van here. From now on, it's downhill via the bikes.
That's right. This is where the adventure playground begins.
Excellent, dude. Let's do it.
Alrighty.
You can sort of teach me that California hey man type of talk. And all
Totally.
That stuff, eh? You guys are all like that, aren't you?
Okay, eh?
Excellent. Yeah, that's the Canadian way, buddy. All right, let's go. Oh, this is excellent. When I found out I was going mountain biking in Santa Barbara, California, folks, I thought, yeah, right, what am I going to do, bob and weave through the million-dollar mansions? Man, was I wrong. Little did I know that less than half an hour out of the city is some of the most awesome, barren, breathtaking scenery I've ever encountered. I mean, there's hardly any sign of human encounter, except for the road I'm on, the odd power line, and maybe a mountain climber or two. I was totally surprised with this area. There's an endless number of mountains and valleys, with distinct patches of trees and vegetation throughout, and you could top all that off with a picturesque blue sky on the horizon. To me, this is what the outdoors is all about. Wow, it's all fog back there and total sun around here.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Once you get onto the other side of the ridge, when it's foggy in Santa Barbara, it's gorgeous over here.
Really?
And that's why it's our favorite playground.
No kidding. It's my favorite already, buddy. I thought the pavement would be nice to do, but this is great. If this was a trail, buddy, I wouldn't be able to appreciate this as much as I can with this road. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you'd be concentrating so much on the bush.
Right.
This
Well,
is
it gives you
great.
a real feeling of being out in the wilderness and an appreciation for it.
Oh, it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome.
We're here to take advantage of it.
You know, coming from Canada, I'm used to the Rocky Mountains, and well, this beats them. In my opinion, this is leisure with a touch of exercise at its best. Think about it. You drive up from Santa Barbara in a fully equipped van, they drop you off at the top of the hill with the bike of your choice, and you can literally coast your way downhill for miles upon miles. And it's all done in a balmy 80-degree plus temperature. I'd say that's leisure. Now don't think I got off scot-free, my friends. With the odd uphill battle, the warmer than average climate, and a constant mouthful of California dust, by the end of this ride, relief is a welcome sight.
Well, it looks like Captain Paul's got the van here waiting for us.
Civilization, what have you got me into here?
Got a little surprise waiting for you.
Oh, I like surprises, buddy. Excellent. What's this?
Cold Springs Tavern.
Cold Springs Tavern.
That's right.
Tavern. Got me written all over it, folks.
The end of the road.
What about it? It's pretty awesome.
It's an old stagecoach stop, and it's been converted to a tavern. So
old cowboys and tough guys.
A few tough guys.
So if I walk in there and say, we're going to kick some butt and chew some gum, and I don't see any gum out here, folks, we're going to get beat up, aren't we?
Yeah.
Especially with the spandex stuff.
Absolutely.
How about a cold one?
Yeah, let's have one.
Oh, excellent. This is going to be cool. I gotta untuck my shirt, okay? Because I don't want to get beat up today. I really don't.
And now for your travel tips. Passport.
My flight destination, Santa Barbara, California. I landed in Santa Barbara via Los Angeles aboard American Eagle Airlines. Santa Barbara, California has all the ingredients of the legendary Southern California lifestyle. With its colorful history to its modern attractions, Santa Barbara is often referred to as the American Riviera. Sheltered between the Santa Ynez Mountains and the Pacific Ocean with its many islands, Santa Barbara is gifted with a wonderful temperate climate, and the region basks in sunshine from dusk to dawn. The Santa Barbara area has something to offer everyone. Whether you're looking for family-style recreational activities or exotic outdoor adventure, you're sure to find it here.
Coming up, Angelo gives a helping hand in polar bear relocation. And now, back to the Outdoor Journal.
The Polar Bear Alert Program, operated by the Manitoba Department of Natural Resources, has several functions. But today, we're going to focus on immobilizing a young mother and her cub. Unfortunately, when they saw the truck, they hightailed it out of here. I feel like I'm in the TV series Cops, following the guys from the Department of Natural Resources down the road. How's it look?
Yeah, she's laying down right at the end of the vehicles.
On this side of the pile?
On this end.
This side of the pile?
Yeah.
You can see her from here?
Yeah, you can see her from here. I'll pass my binoculars, you can have a look at it. She's laying down right at the end of, there's a large culvert right at the end of the vehicle. See the in between okay, just to the left of that there's a culvert. She's laying right at the end.
Now, are you going to dart both the mom and the cub?
I'm going to dart the female.
Yeah.
And once she goes down, it's a cub. It's a cub of the year. He was born in January. So what he'll do is he'll lay down on top of the mother, much like he is right now.
Yeah.
So then I will use a jab pole, basically a syringe on the end of a pole, and we'll walk up to him and use a syringe on him. Yeah.
How'd we do?
Good. I snuck into about 15 yards to her. When the dart hit her, she just stood up, snorted, looked at us for about a few seconds, and then we slowly backed away, and she went down right there. So she's now sleeping. What I'm going to do now is, that's a cub of the year.
Yeah.
So he's not very big. He's only maybe 90 pounds. So I'll use a jab pole on him, basically just a syringe at the end of a pole. It's in my truck. I'll go and get it ready.
Sedate him too?
Yeah, and we'll walk up and just use a pole on him and sedate him right there. I do him in the rump.
He's a little upset. How many bears a year, on the average, you have to tranquilize them?
On the average, usually around 60, 65. This year, this will be 96 and 97.
No kidding.
So it's an abnormal year.
So 96 or 97. So we're talking
96 and 97 bear.
So and it's not over yet.
No. So we're going to get well over 100 this year. No, out for the count.
Not much visibility out there now, boys.
That's good. Okay, got him.
How heavy?
He's only about 80 pounds.
About 80 pounds. And that's a year old?
Yeah, he would have been born about January.
Wow, look at this. How's that for a nice little teddy bear?
Yeah, we'll just put him beside the vehicle here, then we'll load him on top of Mother after we got her loaded. Okay, hang on, Pat. I'll take the other side. Okay.
Straight back here, I guess, eh?
You want to flip her right over, I think.
We should be able to just slide her
Okay,
back.
grab her rump and slide her back.
Slide her back.
Okay.
Maybe grab a leg there,
Yeah.
Steve. If you just
Grab her this leg.
her paw. Yeah.
Wait.
Come on, girl.
Pull white.
Okay, hold her there, Pat. I'll go back there and help her. No, we're getting there. No, nothing sharp there. Okay, ready, guys?
Yeah.
Slide it on. Okay, got her head.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Good. You guys ready?
Up. Hey, wait a minute. I got the heavy end.
Okay, slide her in, guys. Okay.
Lift it up.
Lift the back there.
Okay, slide in.
Woo! Once in D20 and in their holding pen, the bears are carefully checked over for a variety of vital statistics. Each animal is then given an ear tag in the event that it's recaptured. And then, as if in a dream, these majestic creatures are carefully loaded for their final trip up the coast, away from civilization, where they can once again claim their rightful position as lords of the Arctic.